can't control what, but I'll resolve how. Captain of my ship, when the wind's no show, I can't control the wind, so hands on deck and go. Smooth sailing, it's not a prize. Delusions for the weak, and I live real life. I'm not a pig, I won't live in mud. I'm a champion, a mesh of will and blood. I point my finger, but I choose my fist, and I beat my chest, and I'll take life's hits, and with my mouth I will drink my tears and declare it's war. I'm not ending here. I'm not ending here. I'm not ending here. I'm not ending here. I'm not ending here.
Yeah, it's me, bitches. Hope y'all had a good Christmas, and tomorrow's New Year's Eve. So none of you's getting into trouble, all right? So my friend tells me the other day, he's like, man, that theme song that you chose is badass. But you're such a dork, man. And I'm like, I know, right? The other day, just for ha-has, I was checking out my subscribers and my likes and all that stuff, and turns out I think I have like 6 of you, but that's okay. I still got better ratings than Jimmy Kimmel. Laugh. So the holidays, they've been fun. Of course, I went on a binge and I'm fucking fat again. This time I did go out again and help feed the ones in need, and this time my son came along with me, which made it even more fun. He, I mean, I honestly thought he was going to be bored out of his mind. He's a 17-year-old kid. He said he had a lot of fun doing it, so that's always a good thing, right? So, as for today, boy, oh boy, if you want to piss off your employer, you need to show them this video, man. Actually, technically, not all employers. It's just the ones that have the toxic bosses and the bad work environment. Yeah, the people like that are very narcissistic and they don't like being called out. But if your boss is a good leader, then they'll probably watch this and be like, amen, brother. So today's episode is about if you're going to take risks or if you're going to take orders. The choice is yours. Let's do it. So yeah, I'm real old school, man. When it comes to work environment, I'm a strong believer in if you take care of your people will take care of your business. Those that don't want to take care of business, call them in one time, say, I don't want to lose you. This, and that needs to be corrected. If it's not corrected, then I'm not going to be so nice next time. And those are also the people that have the balls to do something about it. Most employers, they don't want to do that because then they got to have conflict with HR, and then they got to answer to this one and that. Just do it. So yeah, my dad's entire side of his family, my grandparents, they had 9 kids, 8 boys, 1 girl, and the girl's the oldest, Phil. But as I told you guys before, I'm originally from Torrington, Connecticut, and in Barkhamsted, Connecticut. My Uncle Joe started a restaurant there many years ago, a little mom and pop restaurant called The Log Cabin. To this day, that business is still up and running, even though my Uncle Joe is deceased. It's ran by a few of his sons, my cousins. But I asked my dad at one point, I asked Joe this at one point, about what he did to make that restaurant so successful. The very first thing about my Uncle Joe that I will tell you is that man ate, slept, and breathed the restaurant business. So much to the point where when he would be on vacation and they'd be out to eat somewhere, he'd start ordering around the people, the waiters and waitresses, like calling them over. Excuse me, what is this? It's the table next to him. What is this? These people left here like 20 minutes ago and I still see these dishes all over the... And his wife would just be like, Joe, you don't own this place. You can't act that way. And then the owner would come out, thanks a lot, man. I can't ever get that guy to do shit around here. When he first opened the restaurant, it was, there's nights that he had a cot in the back, and there would be people coming in at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to wake him up to make him a hamburger. I personally believe when you have your own business, that's usually how you're going to start out. Whether it be that you have a business in entertainment, whether you're in restaurant business, or just any business at all. The first one or two transactions, maybe even more, you're going to buy. But we're going to talk about that at a later date. I mentioned at one point, some asked me, they're like, what kept you going in your sobriety, and how did you keep the faith? And really, it was three things. It's what I call CAP, C-A-P. Consistency, accountability, perseverance. And if there was anybody who taught me that more than anybody, was my dad and a few of my uncles. My Uncle Joe, my Uncle Tony, who was my childhood hero, and also my mother. I mean, my mother, just no excuse is going to get by her. And speaking of good employers, if anybody happens to be moving down to Florida from anywhere into Manatee County, we got several good employers down here. We got more and more businesses moving in every day. We have a really strong economy, but one place that I will talk about, they are known for, it's a family-owned grocery store named Detweiler's. Okay, they're not only known for having the best produce, the best meat, the best sandwich shop. What they're really known for is how well they treat their employees. And every person that I picked up from there, every person that I dropped off there, even people that worked there at one point and had to choose another opportunity to leave, say nothing but great things about that place. So yeah, guys, if you're moving down here and you're looking for, something to get you started, definitely go check out Detweiler's. We got one in Palmetto, we got one in Bradenton, we got one in Sarasota, and I believe the last one is in Venice. But anyway, there's 4 stores. So anywhere between Sarasota and Manatee County, if you're just looking to get your fresh start, I highly recommend it. But with that being said, guys, if you enjoy what you do, do not let money be the deciding factor on choosing a new opportunity. Because if you get along great with your boss, you get along great with your team, and you just go place somewhere else because you need more money, I mean, see what you can do to advance. Talk to your boss. Say, listen, man, I got a family at home. I love it here. I want to stay, but the checks just aren't cutting it. What can I do? And if there isn't a position open for you, do something on the side. Pick up a side hustle. Uber, like me. Do DoorDash. I don't know. Pick up some remote work. I don't know which. Depending on your skill level, they got all kinds of customer service jobs out there that you can do online. Start your own brand. I don't want to hear, oh, I don't know, that's not for me. It's for you. You got to believe in yourself. But speaking of that, I was listening to the radio the other day, and they just have like these scenarios that they discuss, and they have people call into the show. And one topic that they were covering one day was, if you had to choose between $50,000 in peace or $150,000 and come home miserable every day, you would not believe how many people chose the $150,000. Guys, the money's not worth it. Like I said, if you enjoy what you do, or even if you don't see your job as a be-all, end-all, and you want to keep your job, if you're in a company where they're talking about layoffs and people are getting fired left and right, there's only 3 things that you guys need, and you don't got to worry about a thing. Whether your boss likes you or not, whether your team likes you or not. Number 1, initiative. Show them when you want to be there and outwork the fuck out of everyone. Because this day and age, it's not that hard to stand out, man. because a lot of people aren't doing it. There's lack of competition out there everywhere. Just people that don't want to work, and the ones that do show up for work just sit there and do this all day. Not you. You go there, you're there to work. You're not there to talk about the Super Bowl. You're not there to make friends and go to this person's house on the weekend. No, you're there to make money. Period. 2, integrity. If you fuck something up, no matter how big it is, own it. Shut your machine down, walk away from the register, do whatever you got to do. Just tell your boss, this is what I did. How can I correct this? Or what's the next course of action here? Because if you try to hide it or you don't say anything, it just makes matters worse. So, the last one, probably the most important out of the 3. Show up. If you show up every day and you're not late, you're on time, and you're doing these 3 things, it's very difficult for them to get rid of you. And one of the things that's very frustrating is you could be one of those individuals that's doing all 3 of those things and you're still not liked. People are still, you got your team shitting on you left and right. You got a guy who works in the front office who doesn't like you very much. You know why? Because they see something in you that they don't see in themselves. There's only 3 times in life people legitimately don't like you. Number 1, you did something unforgivable. I don't want to use the M word, and I don't want to use the P word, but either you done something inappropriate to a minor, or you took somebody's life, and at that point, there's only one person who can forgive you for that. So, number 2, you're a narcissist. Doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. You think your voice, your presence, and your opinion is the only thing in the world that matters, and when you die, this world is going to go to shit and school's going to be closed on your birthday. It's not. You got to fix that. That's a behavior issue, and it takes a long, long time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Believe me, I know. I've been there. I've been that egotistical piece of shit who thought he was better than everybody else. But much like anything else, if you want it, it will change. And 3rd, you're what I would call a reflection, okay? People see in you what they don't see in themselves. And they hate that about you. And they find the only way that they could fix it is to do all they can to get rid of you. And if they're successful, great. I know it sucks losing a job, but guess what? That's God's way of telling you, I got other plans for you. They want to continue this behavior, fine. They can stay there. They could be a slave to their own ego and continue going to a job they hate, but you, I got better plans for you. Just got to keep the faith. With that being said, guys, stop giving your power to your employer, okay? You are capable of much better things. That being said, be the threat, not the regret. I'm seeing so many social media influencers right now that are saying, if you got a job, hold on to it for dear life. Shut the fuck up, man. Do you realize that that's exactly what creates the toxic work environment? Seriously? When people... It gets me annoyed just talking about it, because I remember what it was like back in 2008 when the economy just went to shit. And I had a really good job with a really good company. But anytime that you went to management with a situation or some kind of issue, the answer to everything was, so what? At least you got a job. Yeah, you know how high the unemployment rate is right now? And when they see videos like that online where you're saying, oh, hold on to your job, hold on to your job, that's just giving them the power, man. The last job that I had, not up north, but when I first moved down here, I am not mentioning the name of the company, nor will I mention any names in the company, but I was answering to someone who, quite frankly, I was embarrassed, to be honest with you, that I was answering to this guy, because as a man, this guy wasn't even in my league. Those people, when they put them in charge, that's what creates a toxic work environment, man. Leaders are not insecure. This guy that I'm referring to, he comes off like he's so level-headed and everything. And I'm just like, the only reason why this guy is so mellow is because he relies on marijuana, alcohol, and nicotine. I don't do any one of the three. And like I said, any job that I start, it's improve, improve, improve. And when I'm not improving, the only person I beat up on is myself. I'm not going to put it on management. I'm not going to put it on my coworkers. And this guy says to me one day, he says, you need to get out of your head. It's real easy to not be in your head when you rely on alcohol, marijuana, and nicotine on a daily basis. I don't rely on any of that shit. It's guys like that that are going to poke you, antagonize you, and the worst thing you can do is react. That's exactly what they want. So if you got a boss that's like that, and they pull you in, or even if you're in front of a group of people and they choose to humiliate you, just, you really want to piss them off, just say, yes sir, smile and walk away, almost as if you're patting them on the back and saying, you'll be all right one day. That really pisses them off. When you allow them to act that way, they're just saying, so-and-so, he's not going anywhere. Oh, I pissed him off. What's he going to do about it? He needs this place. So guys, if you are in a toxic work environment, if you got ideas, keep them to yourself. And I'm going to tell you why. I've been in a few situations where I had really, really, really great ideas that I just could not wait to get upstairs. You go into a room and you pitch that idea to a group of people, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, well, that's not in the cards for this year, or, oh, we didn't budget the money for that this year, or, oh, this one's my favorite. Well, yeah, but somebody already came up with that idea and we couldn't do it, and here's why. So then you leave the room. Guess what happens? That idea is already implemented. So when they're telling you all those excuses like we can't do it and here's why, what they're really saying is, we love that idea. We're going to implement the shit out of it. The only problem is it can't come out of a little peon like you. See, it's got to come from one of us so we can get our precious bonus, or we can look good in front of the big guy upstairs. If you guys are in a toxic work environment, man, your ideas, they're not going to mean anything until it comes out of the mouth of an engineer or somebody in management. That's just how it is. There's one guy that I watch quite a bit. He's a former corporate recruiter. His name's Brian, and I think his page is called Life After Layoff. And one of the things that guy always says is, be the CEO of your career. And I love that. One of the other things that he mentions, and guys, I really want you to listen to this, because when you hear this, for some of you, this might be a weight off your shoulders. You ready? The more streams of income, no employer can fuck with. And that's what they don't want you to know. So, if you're one of these people that's doing your flat 40 hours and all you're thinking about is getting home to your bong and your PlayStation, you're living the life that they want you to live. That's exactly what they want. They want all the time and energy for them. They even have employers out there asking now, I remember when I was interviewing for a position about a year ago, they said, well, we see that you were a real estate agent and doing your other job. Are you going to be doing real estate again? And I'm like, none of your business. I didn't say it like that. I just said, I don't feel obligated to answer that question because what I do on my personal time is my business, not yours. They're like, yeah, okay, fair enough. But guys, if you have multiple streams of income and you're not afraid to work all the time, nobody can fuck with you. If they pull you in the office and they tell you that they're unhappy with your performance and they make up this, that, and the other thing about you, and they say, we think it's best that we should just part ways, you can just say, okay, thanks for the opportunity, bye, and just walk out. Where most people are like, and just lose their shit, which only hurts them, that doesn't hurt the employer. And I've seen that happen before too. It's just, firing somebody is never an easy process. You know, when somebody gets fired, it's never good for it. I was giving a ride to a client the other day, and he was telling me how he wants to make this change and that change, and how, you know, he doesn't want to rely on people for money anymore. He wants to build his own brand. He wants to start this, he wants to start that, and the other thing. And I said, do you really want it? He goes, well, yeah. I said, no, you don't. I said, because if you did want it, you would be obsessed. You wouldn't be talking about it. You'd be doing it. And then he started with, yeah, I just don't have the time. All right. So guys, I don't have the time is probably an excuse that everybody uses across the board, including people upstairs, which is why in the next episode, I'm going to be talking about time management. And how you spend your time on a daily basis, minute by minute, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour. You'll be amazed at how much time you waste in a day. Another thing that I'm going to discuss next week is, as I said, you know, earlier about being the CEO of your career, being the CEO of your life. When you're the owner and not the employee, guess what? Failure is not an option because all the accountability falls on you. So one of the last things I want to talk about today is that other than I don't have time, another excuse I hear is, man, I just don't have the motivation. Anybody that knows me and knows me well knows that I'm a big David Goggins guy. And one of the things that David Goggins says is motivation is crap. And he is 110% correct. It is my opinion that motivation comes from the devil. Drive comes from up above. What's the difference between the two? Motivation does not provide discipline. How do you get discipline? By doing the shit you don't feel like doing on a daily basis. That's how you become disciplined. In order to be disciplined, you gotta have drive. Motivation's crap. You guys ever notice how motivation comes in like small chunks? You know why? That's the devil telling you what you are and what you are not going to accomplish on a daily basis. Fuck him. Because you're capable of bigger and better things. Goggins is kind of a hard ass. He will tell you the only way you're going to get there is if you suffer. And basically what he means by that, it doesn't mean you got to beat the hell out of yourself. It's just get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym. All the things that you don't feel like doing, just get up and do it anyway. You got to find a way to beat that guy that's inside of you that says, I don't feel like doing this today. That guy's your own worst enemy. You got to own that motherfucker. And you got to tell him what you're going to do. So yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week. So next week, I want to talk about change. There's a lot of people out there that have goals, they have aspirations, but the one thing that's holding them back is the biggest fucking liar in their life, which is fear. One thing that I want to make perfectly clear to everyone, you'll learn this if you ever skydive, the greatest things in life are on the other side of fear. So that's what we're going to cover next week. But yeah, guys, as for today, I got to wrap it up. I got a ton of running around I got to do. But yeah, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. Happy New Year. That's another thing I want to touch on before I get going. So guys, as a guy who works in transportation, Uber drivers are all over the place. Okay? So tomorrow night, if you're out partying, please call us. It is not worth going out there, getting yourself killed, and possibly hurting someone else. It's not worth it. And some of you are out there, I don't want to spend $150 on an Uber. You're going to spend 10 grand over the next decade. You're going to have people looking down at you. You're going to be passing up job opportunities. Not to mention, depending on how bad the circumstance, you might even have to go to prison. It's not worth it, guys. So please, tomorrow night, if you guys are going to be out partying and you need a lift home, give us a call. We're going to be out all night. Other than that, just be safe. Love yous. And I'll see you next week. Take care.